All right, let's talk about something that I think a lot of us have felt. You're putting in the effort to meditate, right? You're showing up, but you're just not feeling that big change you were hoping for. So what's going on? What's the missing piece of the puzzle? Well, today, we're going to figure that out.
I mean, does this sound familiar? You sit down, you try to focus, but your mind is just a total whirlwind. You end the session feeling even more restless than when you started. And after weeks, maybe even months, it feels like nothing has really truly shifted. It can be super frustrating.
And you're definitely not alone in feeling this way. Meditation teacher Girish Jha really hits the nail on the head here. He says the key isn't just what you're doing, but how consistently you're doing it. Without that regular practice, any knowledge you pick up is just, well, dry understanding. It's an idea that stays in your head instead of actually changing how you feel and experience your life.
Okay, so to get why consistency is such a game changer, we first have to understand these two competing forces that are always at play inside our own minds. You can think of it like this constant battle for your attention, a tug-of-war between two very different ways of thinking. So on one side, we have what's called the worldly intellect, and on the other side, there's the wisdom intellect. Now, these two operate from completely different rulebooks. The worldly one is impulsive, it's always chasing temporary fixes and distractions. But the wisdom intellect, it's discerning, it's calm, and it's focused on a much deeper, more lasting sense of peace.
Now look, the worldly intellect isn't the bad guy here. We absolutely need it to survive, to plan our day, to get things done. But its default setting is to be impulsive, to jump from one thing to the next. In meditation, this is the part of you that suddenly gets sleepy or distracted or gets pulled away by your to-do list and all your worries. The wisdom intellect, on the other hand, is what we're really trying to strengthen. It's that part of you that is naturally aware, vigilant, and clear. It just gets that real, lasting happiness isn't found in fleeting external stuff, but in connecting with something deeper, something unchanging that's already inside you.
Here's a great way to think about it. The wisdom intellect is like your internal GPS. When you sit down and set your intention for your practice, what you're really doing is programming your destination, that feeling of true ultimate peace. This gives your mind a super clear direction, and it stops that worldly mind from constantly trying to reroute you down all those distracting side streets.
So how do we get a stronger signal for that inner GPS? Well, you guessed it. It all comes down to consistent practice. Every single session is like a workout for your mind, training it to listen to the guidance of the wisdom intellect instead of all the noise from the worldly one.
And check this out. This is the real practical impact of that consistency. With irregular practice, it can take like 30 to 35 minutes just for your mind to even begin to settle down. But if you practice daily, that time plummets to just 10 minutes. Think about that. You get to the deep, meaningful part of your meditation so much faster.
And this consistency leads to some pretty amazing results. You start to become a mindful observer of your own mind. You can notice thoughts, even the anxious, fearful ones, without getting all tangled up in them. It's about building that mental muscle, that maturity, to keep your impulsive, worldly mind from hijacking your inner peace.
Okay, so this idea of consistent practice sounds good, but how do we actually do it? Well, the good news is we've got some really useful frameworks that can turn this abstract goal of growth into a concrete, actionable path you can follow.
First up is this simple but super powerful three-step loop. Step 1, you listen and you learn the concepts. Step 2, you don't just blindly accept them, you contemplate them, you reflect on them. And finally, step 3, you put it all into practice and you check it against your own direct experience. It's this active, repeating cycle of growth.
What's so great about this little loop is that it really puts you in the driver's seat. It encourages you to ask yourself every day, so, what was my experience like? Where did I succeed? Where did my mind wander off? This self-checking builds accountability and helps you see your progress in real time.
And then there's this broader map for the entire journey, these 8 steps of mental maturity. You can see it's a progression. It all starts with just recognizing the gift of being alive and finding your own inner strength. That sparks a yearning for something deeper, which then fuels the discipline to practice. From there, you gain knowledge. You build discernment to tell the difference between the worldly and the wise, and that ultimately leads you to direct experience and true realization.
So just take a second and look at this path. This isn't a race, and there's no judgment here. It's really a tool for you to assess where you are. The first 4 steps are really about becoming a seeker, finding that inner fire and discipline. The next steps are all about deepening that understanding. So just for yourself, Where would you say you are on this path right now?
And this really brings us to the ultimate goal of all of this. All these practices, all these frameworks, they're all designed to do one thing: to help you move beyond just knowing things in your head and to start embodying them as real, lived wisdom. And that right there is the true spirit of this entire path. It's not about blind faith. It's not about just accepting what some teacher says. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to become a scientist of your own mind, to test these ideas for yourself against your own experience, to inquire.
So, our time here might be wrapping up, but your own journey is really just beginning. It all starts with your own curiosity, your commitment to practice, and one simple question: what will you inquire about in your own experience today?